with the film.
Everyone. We are live at 4:30. I would have said 5, but it ain't 5 yet. We live at 4:30. And you are back to another episode of
Is My Point Valid?
Now I know y'all see we at the highs right now. We back at the highs, and don't be alarmed. It's just a weather issue. We didn't want to get out there. We wanted to play it safe, but we definitely didn't want to stop the show. We wanted to keep the show going. So, what's your no good, baby?
No.
Oh, let me go back. I can't get this right for nothing, boy. Say, check this out. I am Brandon D. Stocker.
And I am Camille A. Stocker.
Now, what's your no good?
And we are the Stocker family values. Y'all, that's
who we represent.
We are.
And this is My Point Valid, where we talk about different topics and give you our points to see if they're valid or not. And we like to get y'all feedback as well to see if the points that y'all have are valid too. So,
yes.
Now we into what's your no good.
Now we can do.
All right, so what's your no good, baby?
What you know good?
What you know good?
Well, since we kind of said before, we're at home because it's a snow day in Houston. It is a literal snow day in Houston. It's cold outside.
It's bad. What was it, about 18? 19? Something like that.
It's 21 right now. This morning it was like 14. 21. But it's cold.
Yeah, the sun done came out, so I think that may play a role in why it's 21 and not that 18 still.
It's cold outside.
But it is cold outside. Our doggone heater been on all day. It ain't went off. And
this is different for Texas.
Yes. I don't know what cold is where you from, but you from Texas.
Also, we're kind of, on the good side of having electricity and water. There's some people who have been struggling with that. So y'all are in our prayers, and I am praying that they do get
y'all power back on, because that heat is necessary.
I know it's cold.
Boy,
I know
I've been went to the job. Oh my goodness, Lord have mercy. Hold up. We coming back.
Technical
difficulties.
Hold
on, we back. We here, and we live, and we at 5. Hold on, guys. We gonna get it. Put a thing up, baby. Can you get?
There?
Don't you know no good? We back.
All right.
And we had a little difficulties, but we back. We here.
Yeah, snow day in Houston.
Snow day. So we at the house. We are at home. But other than that, what else is you no good, baby?
This Saturday, there are 2 events happening. 2 events.
2.
The first one, which is virtual, is a boot camp
2021. It's a business boot camp. We did one before.
Yes.
But due to popular demand, we are back, and we're going to air it again for those who missed it. I guarantee you do not want to miss this. There's some great information from a variety of different business owners. I had to get that together. A variety of different business owners that will give you the information you need to take your business to the next level. So Boot Camp 2021 is something you don't want to miss.
At all.
Check it out.
Good info.
And what else is your no good, baby?
All right, so another no good. Oh, you got to tell them who's involved with the boot camp.
So, shout out to the business coaches who are partnering with me on this boot camp, and that is Miss T. Hendricks. Shout out to Miss T. Shout out to Gina Hawkins. Shout out to Anthony Hall. And shout out to Lakeithia Walker. And last but definitely not least, Miss Mika Diamond of Visible Evidence. She's the one that's putting all this together. So big shout out to her. You my dog. And yeah.
All right.
So
that second event that I said, because I said there was two. So it's the Passport to Learning event hosted by Hearts of Education, which is Lakeithia Walker,
Miss Lakeithia,
and us, the Stalker Family Values. We're going to be out there on Saturday having a book giveaway. So if you know anybody, free books, swag bags given out as well. So come on out, get a free book. Y'all,
get your learn on, get your network on. There's going to be a bunch of business owners out there like ourselves and Lakeithia that you can plug in with, and from 12 p.m. to 3 p.m. We will be out there on the bus. So the boot camp is Saturday from 10 to 12.
Yes.
And then we back doing and doing the Passport for Learning
from 12 to 3.
Yeah, it's going to be a full day, but it's going to be something you don't want to miss, like I said before. So y'all be sure to tune in, come out, support, show us some love, all that good stuff.
Yes.
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 Now, we are.
Here we go.
On our way.
Where we at?
We with the topic. What the topic for today gonna be, baby?
The topic is checking in. It's ironic because I'm saying checking in and how what's happening in Houston and all this jazz.
Check on your people.
Checking in. But I'm not talking, well, I guess I could say that. But checking in. What do I mean checking in?
What do you mean?
So I saw, I was on Instagram and I saw a couple who was saying they check in with each other every week about how they're doing, what's happening mentally, because if you don't tell anybody what's happening,
how they gonna know?
How will they know?
And most of the time, the people want to tell you, but they don't want to be the one to initiate that conversation. So it's always a good thing to ask your people how they feel. How you feel about that?
I mean, okay, so here's the thing. Hey, Makiba.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. Should I be asking or should you just be telling?
People don't go around telling their problems, how they feel.
If it's me and you, and you see, shouldn't you just tell me? If we're in a relationship, shouldn't you just be telling me that something is not right or I feel this way? Besides you walking around, and then not even that you feel some way about me or anything. It could be something that's going on, but you're holding that in.
I think you should tell your significant other about the things or how you feel or the things you're going through. But realistically, that's not the case. Because I know even for me, I don't always tell you how I feel about something. I hold it in.
So shouldn't we get away from that stigma? That's why I thought that was pretty good for that couple. They check and plus they're busy. I think a lot of working, and then they're running their own business. She's doing her own thing. He's doing his own thing. So they come together, and it might be during the week they might be passing each other, right? And then they set a time to say
daily or on a weekly basis.
Weekly basis. I think I read a weekly basis. And they are setting a time to have whatever's happening mentally for them to know. So I'm saying that shouldn't we break that? Could you saying I wouldn't tell you, I would keep some things. Shouldn't we break that stigma now of saying, oh, I need to keep things to myself? If you are with somebody who you really trust, who you feel has your best interest at heart, why is it so hard for us to project our feelings or say, I feel this way? Because I'm checking in. I'm telling you what it is. I mean, you can either take it or leave it, but I'm checking in with you because like you said, I don't have to, but in a relationship, I'm with you, and it's only right.
I feel you, but like I said, people aren't always open, even with the person that they love. Because even with me, I'm not always as forthcoming with information. I'm not an open book. I give answers based on the questions that are asked. I don't come and just give you my life story. Like, I have people that ask me all the time, tell me a little bit about yourself. No? What do you want to know?
You're missing my I'm not talking about tell people your whole life story. I'm saying for you to me, if something is going wrong with you mentally.
I'm telling you now that I don't always tell you what I'm going through mentally.
Why not?
Because I just don't.
Why not? Shouldn't that should be changed?
It should, but
it should be changed. So we said that with relationships, with children, do we give the okay with them to come in and say, to check in? I'm calling it check in, but to your feelings. That's what I'm saying. We have to change that stigma, because you are feeling like these are. The way I'm feeling, this is for me, and it's only for me. I shouldn't project this onto anybody else, because this is how I'm feeling.
Mm-hmm.
I felt like that for a long time. Even as a child, you have moments where you want to, but your mom will probably say, no, that's not for everybody to know.
Yeah.
But why isn't it?
What happens in the house, stay in the house.
Stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But why? This is where I'm like, no, I'm changing that. Check in with me, because if something is wrong, and if something is wrong, you'll have the ability to not be like, I'm in this by myself. You get what I'm saying?
I feel you.
You will, and so every week, every Friday, I have a check-in, a Let's Talk Friday. That's basically my check-in with the girls, saying, how do you feel? And it's really, did I make you feel comfortable this week? Because I have to take as a parent, I have to take responsibility. And they don't know their check-in might be just a hug. Mm-hmm. Their check-in might be just to come touch me and say, Mommy, I love you. But I have to check in to really see, how do you feel? Did I make you feel some type of way during lesson? Was I this or that? Or did somebody say, these are the type of check-in points that I'm saying. So I'm teaching that as a child, so when they become adults, and if nobody sways their minds, they will know,
I need to check in.
I need to check in.
The people that I care about most.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that transparency is a good thing, but
I ain't saying you tell everything. Mentally, I'm not here. I'm going through some things, and it might not even be that you say what it is that you're going through. Mm-hmm. But as long as you're saying something is not right, something is wrong. But then, okay, here we go. When you check in, somebody might not give you the help, not even the help, the ear that you need. And so that might be, you might back off and say, I'm not going to tell anybody else anything ever again because this person isn't hearing me.
Oh, yeah.
Checking in.
Yeah. I think in a relationship or even with your children, that needs to be something that is established. That conversation needs to be had as to, like you do with Isabel and Ava. It's like, on Fridays, we're going to do this. So I think it's important to, if knowing how your people feel is important to you, then I think there needs to be some kind of something set saying, like I said with you and Isabel, you were intentional about setting up Friday as what do you call it?
Let's Talk
Friday. So I think we as parents or even spouses need to sit down and establish something.
Wasn't that what I was just asking? You wouldn't know.
No, I said it is a good thing, but that's not how.
You're saying that's not how it works. So
that's not how it happens.
It is how it is happening. It is how that should happen. You have to want to be like, okay, I need to approach this situation. If you hadn't checked in with me recently about things that had happened, you still would have been going through. If I hadn't checked in, however many times I check, because I check in, I'm going to make sure I check in. I'm going to make sure you know where I am mentally. Because it affects, and I'm speaking for a relationship, because it affects your family. And if you have children, your children are seeing that, but they can already sense something's not right. Like something isn't right. So if I'm voicing what is wrong, that's the normal. That becomes a normal.
I feel you.
You don't agree with me. That's what you don't.
It becomes a normal, but that is not the normal.
But what's normal?
I mean, I guess it just depends on the people. Because normal, before I met you, normal was not checking in with nobody.
That's what I'm. So what we change our normals all the time. But because you can even say checking in with family. Somebody, your sibling might have said something to you, right? Check in with them, and your mama might have said something to you. You need to check, and a lot of times when those people say something to us, we bury it instead of check in and say, "This is how you made me feel," but then I'm also say, although you say this is how that made me feel, they're not sympathetic to what you're saying, or what they're not sympathetic to your feelings because they said it. Like that's what they meant. They said it. So I just thought it was interesting to checking in. You don't agree?
I do. I mean, I agree. I check in with like for instance, my mama. I always check in with her to see where she at. And I think in me doing that, she in return does the same thing at the same time. You feel what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, but other than that, my mama and you, I'm lying. I was about to tell a lie because I do call people within our circle and ask them and just be like, "Say you good? Everything all right?" I even do that with random people on Facebook.
See.
But that's not normal. That's the
empathetic. They should be empathetic. Empathy. Show empathy.
Yeah.
Show empathy.
I mean, like I was saying, I do check in with people regularly. Like even with Libra, I'll call her and be like, "Say everything good," because I know she be going through with them cats out there. So, I mean. It's something that, like you said, it does need to become the normal. But even especially in our community, talking, being transparent is something that doesn't come easy to most. So that needs to.
That's what I'm saying. We have to check in. We have to stop having the stigma of I can't say anything, I can't do anything, because if I say something, somebody's going to judge me. Man, you better check in and tell somebody where you are mentally, because it's eating it's eating at you. If somebody, and here's the thing, if somebody made you upset,
you better tell
them. Tell them, like,
how the problem going to be fixed if the person don't know it's a problem.
That's what I've been saying. How can, that's the point of checking in. oh, I didn't like how this was done. I didn't like how that was done. You might not, what's the word? You might not understand, you might not show that you understand where I'm coming from, but you'll hear me and be like, and then next time you think about what you said to me or whatever happened, you'll think, oh, she wasn't feeling it.
Yeah. And then like Makiba say, you gotta check the temperature with people, then you can't assume that what happened, what's good for them yesterday is the same thing for today.
Absolutely.
So it's good to do this regularly.
That's what I was saying.
I wasn't disagreeing with you. I was just saying that it's not normal. It wouldn't be considered normal.
It's normal for me because
for
I do
you.
it.
Yes.
Because I do it.
But as a whole.
Because I do it. So that's why it was like, yeah, I was just like, let's check in with your people. You let them know that
I'm here.
I'm here. Do you see me? do you see me? So you said you check in with me and your mama, and you said you check in with other people. But people also check in with you because people are also seeing we put out certain vibes sometimes, and people pick up on what we putting down, and they'll take it and be like, something isn't right, so that has happened.
Yes.
How do you deal with that? Do we shove it underneath the rug, or do we grab a hold of it and be like, okay, I need to confront this, or I need to say something is wrong?
We need to do those things. We definitely need to. I'm gonna say that. I know even for me, it's something that talking about my feelings is not something that I would say that is my strong suit. So it's gonna take a lot of practice for me to just be. Like I say, I check in with people, but for me to just provide people with information on how I'm feeling is not something that I normally do. So it's something I need to work on, definitely.
Okay, I just thought of something else.
What you got?
Check in. Since we're talking about checking in, should you check in with a therapist?
Oh man, therapy. I don't know.
Because they're supposed to be unbiased, right? So they're you could tell.
You should. You're supposed to be able to tell them anything.
Yeah, it's supposed to be confidential.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be confidential. But do you check in? Is that a way to check in as well? If you cannot check in with other people and be like,
I mean, if you feel that you need therapy or you have a therapist, then of course there's somebody that you would check in with. Because I mean, they're your therapist. How they supposed to give you feedback, or how are they gonna know what's going on with you, and how are they gonna know how to direct you if they don't know what's going on with you?
The therapist?
Yeah,
the
therapist.
Therapist.
The theraper?
Because some people are not open. Like, you have to gain that trust and all that. I've never spoken to a therapist. I
know if you go into a therapist and you ain't speaking your mind, you're wasting your money.
Yeah, because that's the whole point. And I don't see the stigma behind that one either. It's somebody that you could talk to, who's gonna get you and make you think outside the box of what's going on up here.
Mm-hmm.
Because like you're saying, you don't check in, and you check in when you want to check in, but you just do bits and pieces. It's just bits and pieces. And in the beginning for me, it was also bits and pieces. I'm not gonna tell you too much, because here's my thing. If I tell you too much,
You're going to know too much.
You're going to know too much. And you might treat me differently. Because people that I've told everything to
have
turned their back.
Switched it up.
Switched it up.
Yeah.
And was like, no, she gave me too much. And so, you know, that's how I came into it. So, yeah.
Hold on, let me read this. Dr. Troy Evans teaches a great series on feelings and how you can trust them because feelings aren't intelligent. They don't become intelligent until they attach to a thought. And I'm going to have to look into that, Makiba. You be coming with that doggone knowledge. Yes, goodness, yeah. I'm going to have to look into that.
Let me see. But yeah, that's what
That's real. So as a man thinketh, not as he feeleth. I feel it. Yes, indeed.
Yeah. They don't become intelligent until they've attached to a thought. And even then, it's the thought, not the feeling that carry more value. Right? Mm-hmm. It is the thought. It's like Yep.
Because people don't care about your feelings anyway.
Some people do.
For the most part.
I was like, yeah, some people care. You have. I'm not saying you have to care, but with the therapist, they don't have to care. They are detached
from the whole situation. Yeah.
They are detached for that reason to be unbiased, not supposed to judge you and whatever you're going through. But then it's your release. That's why I was asking, like, check in. Are you checking in with? You should be. I feel like you should be checking in with somebody.
Somebody. If you don't have nobody, that's when you go to a therapist. For me, if you don't have nobody close to you, then you find somebody who has nothing, that has no attachments to you, so they can give you that unbiased opinion. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Be ye transformed by the renewal of your mind, not your feel. I'm trying to tell you.
Not your feelings.
Not your feelings.
And a lot of we get our feelings so involved, and that's why that's why I feel people should talk. Forget how you feeling. Say what's on your mind, and a person will know. And like I said, it might not be anything in depth or what happened, but I'm going through something. But a person will know.
Yeah.
And be like, okay, and then what can they do? They can either pray for you or not pray for you or
leave you alone
altogether.
But you know it's real.
Right. And you'll see who's there for you. You'll see who you can check in with and who you cannot check in with. And then you might have different people who you check in with, like, differently. Like, I can check in with my sister about something. I can check in with my brothers about all three of them something separately, but they each have something that they could give to me, and or I could
that
give
trial and error gave you the knowledge to know how to come at them with your
right. Because I'm not saying you give everybody everything. That one. Can't give you everything, and so she says, my mother is the best teacher ever for me and how to get out of your feelings. Laugh out loud and get into action.
I already know.
Not that our feelings aren't important, though. They're just not most important. And
that's real.
That's real.
Because your feelings will have you in situations that logic won't. So we need to take heed. Get your feelings out of things. Take your feelings out of things and you go a whole lot further.
And think things through. Like, if you think things through. Also, before you check in with anybody, check in with yourself. Like, does this make sense?
It's okay to talk to yourself.
I do it all the time, but no, seriously, you check in with yourself and then be like, ooh, now I can go in and tell this person or whatever. So yeah.
Check in. See if your people are all right. And like Makiba say, just because they all right today, don't mean they all right tomorrow. Things change.
Because just like we were talking about last week with self-doubt, one day I might be confident. All right, hey, I got it. And then the next day it's like, ooh, something from 2009 popped up, and then you're in your feelings, and so you don't know. And then that one thing could continue on for the rest of the week, and you be in a bad mood, or you don't ever know. So that's
you got to release.
You have to release.
Release. Find you somebody you can release to.
So, okay, back to you. We'll come back to you. Because you're saying you're not comfortable with doing it. So what is your release?
I don't really have one. I can't think of one. My release? All right, so check this out. I'm the type to hold stuff in.
Yes.
Until the pressure busts the pipe.
Yeah.
So I'm not directly dealing with things right then. I kind of let them boil.
So that's not good.
No, it's not good. But I mean, I'm telling you what's real. And I know I need to work on those things. I know I need to be more open about how I'm feeling or my thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
But like I say, it's something that I need to work on. And a lot of people are in this same boat.
Yeah, so would you be open to seeing a therapist?
I'm not. I don't know about that. If I had to, yes. Is that something that I will want to do? Not necessarily.
Do you think, I'm putting him in the hot seat. Do you think that if you did see or went in and said, I need to talk to somebody, that would help? You said it would help, but
I think for me, it would be best for me to do it with somebody that I already trust. So it would be best for me to start with like you or my mama. Because it's going to be a whole process trusting somebody outside of my circle. So I may go into the situation losing a lot of money because I'm not willing to provide them the information that they're requesting.
So you're willing to provide me with the information?
Yeah. And then like I said before, I am a answer your question type of person. I'm not a open book. It's not tell me about yourself and I just go on and on of telling you about myself. No, I need specific questions so I can give you specific answers. Ain't no open book over here.
I'm saying I had to learn to become, but listen here to this. The healthier, Makiba said, the healthier my boundaries are, the less I'll get in my feelings. I agree, because I have learned to do that. That the more that I get to speak to you, talk to you, and tell you, this is how I'm feeling, I open up a little bit more. Also, my release is my point valid? I've been sharing some things, and that's like my way of checking in, right? Some of the stories that I've been telling, I've never said to anybody.
Mm-hmm.
I've in for years, eating me up. And once I release, that's my thing about checking in. You releasing, and then it's like, oh, what is it? I shed something. I've shedded something,
mm-hmm.
And so
like a weight lifted.
Your weight has been lifted.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
All right, so brother-in-law Kevin say therapy works wonders. To get feedback from a professional is invaluable. So my question is this. With this therapist, was it somebody that was recommended to you, or did you do your own research and find this person? That's what I need to know. Because like I said, with therapy, the whole getting to trust someone, all of that's a process for me, because trust is not something that I take lightly. So I will want to know, how do you go about even choosing a therapist or doing
your research? You gotta research.
But like I said, within the question, you have some people that will refer you to somebody.
Yes.
So I think, in my mind, I'm thinking having a referral is better than just going out and finding somebody, because
somebody has already went.
They know exactly what
that would make me feel a little provide. Whatever. Not saying I know they're supposed to have confidentiality.
Yeah, because they know both of y'all stories.
Like, I'm like, wait a minute, hold on now.
Oh, no. You know such and such too. Well, let me tell you, no. But that could be kind of different.
That's what I said. I wouldn't like.
So you would rather have somebody that you researched on your own and found.
I would have research, and you better have some good reviews. But I would, and then like, I wouldn't like. Yeah, I wouldn't want a referral like you. So I guess that's where we differ.
Finding a therapist.
Like,
oh Lord. You know, people ain't been there, they can't find a date. That's why they go on all these dating sites. That's
what she's saying.
They say they need a therapist site, like a dating site.
Oh, they probably do. They probably got one.
I'm sure they do. They got a little something.
They probably got one.
Yeah. But finding a date ain't so easy these days. You better stick with the one you got, unless they. But
sir.
But yeah, me personally, I never thought about credentials, character, motive.
What's your motive?
I never thought about going to a therapist. I know my mother's a life coach, so that's the closest I'll probably get to going to a therapist, unless it's absolutely necessary or something that's requested by you.
Here we go.
And all of my referrals to a therapist coach have come from people I trust, and they have turned out well for me. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's what you were saying, and that's why I was like, I know I have a life coach in my life, but I've always been. Hold on, I've been hesitant because we are too close, and
because I'm gonna ask some questions. I need some answers.
And I feel like, if I talk to her,
I need them answers.
Some stuff like, I'm not ready, but I know
need some answers.
I would be ready, but it would be like, wait, you want to go there, and then I've always had in the like, I know she's not gonna judge me, but it's like, she would know too much. You get what I'm saying? So here we go. I have to jump on your bandwagon.
When she know, I know.
Huh? No, she wouldn't do that. She wouldn't do that. If I'm talking to her, she's not going to say anything.
First of all, I'm black, so you can't really empathize with my blackness if you're not black or a person of color who has experienced colorism at some point. Yeah, Makiba, you own to something there, because I want to talk about that. That is I don't want to ruffle no feathers.
A therapist.
Oh, you talking about with therapy?
Yes.
Okay, I'm talking about period.
A therapist.
I'm talking period. But yeah, I think it probably would be a better. Now, let me ask you this: do you think a man should go with a man, or a woman should go with a woman? Or is it okay to have a man therapist for a woman? How do y'all feel about that? Does it matter? Do you think it's more beneficial for a man to have a man as a therapist? So for just thinking about it, I would think it would be best for a man to be my therapist, because that relatability, a black man. I think that he would be able to relate to me a lot.
I don't think so. He could relate to you as a black man. He might not have grew up. I'm not saying everybody grows up the same, but you might have a woman who is similar to what you went through. You get what I'm saying? So it doesn't, I've never been to a therapist. I don't know. So, but I don't think it would be, me personally, I would go with a woman, because I would go with a woman. That's just me.
I probably would feel, I mean, like I said, it would probably be more relatable for a man, but I've always chose, women have always been the most dominant demographic in my life. So I personally probably would choose a woman.
Yeah, like I am Lisa Renee said, I feel a woman can better identify with a woman's issues. I kind of feel like that.
That's true
as well. Like you said, a man will.
Yeah, that relatability of just being a man or a woman, but like you were saying, they may not have the same background. They may be black. They may be a black woman or a black male, and they've never experienced any of the things that you've experienced. So how does a therapist give you advice on something they've never experienced?
It's important to feel comfortable with your therapist. Race and gender don't matter. Age does. Okay, let's talk about the age. So I can't be going in. I can't be checking in.
So I need to check in with my own
around the same age. So do I get somebody older, or do I get somebody young, like around this? Well,
hold on. Lakeithia, women are able to see opposing views and tend to have a broader view of life than men. Lakeithia? Things that make you want to say,
You said,
I don't know if I agree with that. But it may be true. It may be true. Sometimes, though, if it's an issue of discipline and how not to be led by your feelings, a man might be better communicate that. I think.
What you saying would keep a women too emotional?
I think that man just gonna bust you in the head with that real information.
No, a man is gonna be like,
bam, 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 bam. A woman would be like, well, if you do this, then you could do that.
But is that how a therapist? I see. For some reason, I'm thinking like older is better. Life experiences matter. So I would have to go with somebody older because they've been through, or yeah. It makes sense.
I agree with Lakeithia because women are usually the ones who have to stand flat-footed and hurdle the extreme situations. That's true. That is true. So with that being said, I can agree with Lakeithia then. You feel me? I just needed a broader perspective on what she was trying to get at. You feel me? But now I understand. So I can agree with that. Women do tend to have a broader, and even with the women in my life, between the women and the men, the women tend to be a little bit more enlightened.
You said enlightened.
Enlightened. Yes, they are. Like I say, when no one has done more for me in my life than women. So I choose a black woman before I choose anything, and that's just me. What you got?
But then you saying you choose a black woman before you choose anything. Why? I'm checking in with you. Why won't you choose a black man?
I don't know. I've had more positive experiences with black women, so I tend to.
So black men are black women are your safety. So, right? I'm gonna say it like that. Black women are your safety, and I could say for me, okay, the same thing. Black women are my safety. I'm saying I wouldn't go see a man therapist. I wouldn't really, whatever a man, like, that's just me.
And then another thing, like Lisa Renee was saying, is she chooses women to avoid getting hit on.
Yeah.
So I think that's another thing. That's another issue.
It's a bunch of stuff that plays in, like, plays into it. An older white
man changed my life. A white woman changed my life. She cared for me like a son. Now, I have had Caucasian people care for me. I have a a Caucasian friend in Georgia that I've been rocking with for quite some time. And if you plug in with the right Caucasian, they'll do whatever for you. They'll turn you on to some game. They'll keep you out of trouble. If you do get in trouble, they'll come vouch for you. All of that. So a white man changed, Caucasian man changed my life as well. So I can agree with that. That point is valid. They will change your life. They will give you game that black people will not. They don't hold they nuts on you. Like we say in the hood, they will not hold their nuts on you. They will let you know what it is and how you can better yourself. So I do agree with that. What else we got?
What else you got? Checking in. Who else do you need to check in with? The person what was that? Wait, what do I? Wait, the person you spend. Brandon went straight from God. No,
the person you spend, Brandon, was sent straight from God.
Speak of.
Yes, definitely. Ben was sent from heaven. I'm trying to tell you, I turned Ben on to a whole hood. And he was blessing folks' lives, boy. I don't know where our hood would be without Ben, because he came in, he swooped in like a Superman Caucasian. Super dude. That boy swooped in and he had us on some other stuff, man. He had us broadening our minds and
So then he was somebody who you could check in with from a different demographic, different.
Oh, I definitely checked in with Ben.
Just different.
And even though we don't come from the same background, he does understand because he has been around.
So that goes back to the having somebody older.
Yeah, the experience.
Wiser. Who's
more in tune.
Who's probably seen.
Yeah. And then he had a spiritual connection out of his world. So that was another thing that made him just different. So
okay, you said spiritual. So I thought about God. And then I said, do you check in with your pastor? Is it safe?
I don't know about that one there. I don't know if you need to be checking in with your pastor.
Your deacon?
Yeah, no, please say, do not check in with your deacon. That boy got some things on his mind he's trying to get off his chest and he waiting on you to come to him. Do not check in with the deacon. He got some, hey.
What they gonna say? Trust in God.
Today.
They're like, sir, I trust in the Lord, but I need somebody to talk to.
Straight up, I need somebody for real. I don't need you acting like you the doggone, you the listener and the talker for God.
I need you to just listen. I know
you are not the messenger.
Look here. Here.
No, we ain't doing it. Today, we are not having church.
But yeah.
We having service.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We gonna have I was just asking, do you check? But back to it though, to be serious. People do check in because they trust them. That is, they're safe. They go to church. Yeah, because
even in the Catholic Church, they talk to the dude. What is it called?
I can't think of, but they're in the. Yeah. And they talk to him. Yeah. Father, I've sinned, and all. Yeah, like you need that. That's
confession, ain't it?
Confession.
Yeah.
And you're checking in to release whatever.
Yeah. So I can go back on saying confessionals. Yeah, I can go back on saying that checking in is not considered a normal. I mean, I guess it's just the person.
But all that we've just been saying, it is the normal.
It is.
It is normal.
It is. So my point was not valid.
Mine was.
And hers was.
It is normal. Yeah. It is. It's normal. I think a lot more people are checking in with whomever they can speak to and getting stuff off their chest. I really think it's a lot more people. And I think it's a lot more people who are going to check in with a therapist, or a counselor, a life coach. There are more people doing it. But because of that stigma behind it of saying, you shouldn't do this. And even as a black person, why are you going to therapy? There should be nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with you. There is something wrong. And I think that's where you have to get into it and see it's a problem.
And a lot of times in our lives, we've been told so much there's nothing wrong with you.
There's nothing
ain't nothing wrong with you.
Ain't
nothing wrong with you.
But there's something
ain't
wrong.
Nothing wrong with you.
There's something wrong.
It's something wrong. Black people gotta stop telling people they stop discounting how people feel. Stop discounting people's thoughts. Stop discounting what people are going through, because that's them.
But people are going through things, and you might not be thinking you going through something. It could be and you don't know your trigger. Something that happened to you from a little bitty kid. And
what are you doing? Y'all need a buzzer keeps going. Straight up. Hey, that's coming up. Say, that's coming up. Yes, sir.
Be a little bitty kid and then you an adult. Like, why is this? And then you like, well, I'm not. And it goes back in. We have to have these check-ins. We have to talk. We have to say when something is wrong and stop saying, oh, there's nothing wrong. There is something wrong. Say it. Speak it. Find
you have a problem, and the first step to getting better is admitting you have a problem.
There's something wrong.
It's something wrong.
Because everybody ain't walking around honky dory, you know. You crazy, but yeah. So that's I think I see all my points were valid.
We had to bust the myth that says going to therapy is not good for black people.
Shame is attached to it. With
everything that you think is not good for black people, it's probably good for black people. Straight up, go find you a therapist, cause your head ain't right. You all over the place, and I be talking to myself half the time. So maybe I need to go see a therapist as well. But,
or maybe I'm not. I mean, there's nothing wrong with seeing a therapist, but okay, here's my question: do we need? I guess we would have to open up to ourselves first in order to see that we need to speak with a therapist. Correct?
Show you right.
Oh, you looking like you didn't know if I
show you right.
Right or
yeah, that's you have to establish that you have a problem, because what are you gonna fix if you don't know what's wrong? So you need to have a conversation with yourself, have a conversation with God, and then go talk to your therapist about it. Or you can just have it. God can be your therapist. You feel me? But it takes a little bit more listening to have God as your therapist than have a person. So you have to be really in tune for God to be your therapist.
So I ain't crazy, because I talk to myself. I talk to myself.
You be saying self, and self be like, huh?
Okay. And then so it is healthy. Be authentic. Be your authentic self.
Absolutely.
To yourself. And then I remember working. I was like the therapist. People would come to me, but I didn't have anybody to go to. Like, the person who I would talk to the most or try and get my point across to would be my mama. But it's with certain things that was like, I can't talk to her like that, right? Still to this day, it's like, I know my limit. She's not gonna want to hear that one right there. So let me go talk to somebody else.
That's real. Going to a therapist is like going to a gym. You're not going to know what hurts until you start working it out. Yeah. That's real. Straight up. Because I knew for a long time, boy, I didn't even realize why I was so angry about certain things until I didn't go talk to a therapist, but I did kind of align myself a little bit more with the man up above, and he kind of showed me some things, revealed some things that got me right. So definitely.
Right. So you do have you mean your relationship with God, and he'll reveal to you the things that you do, but then I think it's left up to us to get that extra help. Like right now, I'm saying I come on here every week and I'm releasing, but I know eventually, because there's still some things that I would never, ever say expose, and I know eventually I'm going to have to check in with somebody that does not know me at all for me to really be okay.
Mm-hmm.
This song is so scared.
So scared.
So scared.
So scared. Oh my God.
Crazy. Yeah.
So, before let me for all those people out there who are looking for a life coach, a mentor, a mindset shift, we got somebody for you. And Miss Lisa Renee, she was on here. I'm sure she's still on here, but yes, Miss Lisa Renee, she has a 6-week course for you. It's going to be focusing on 3 main topics, which is self-talk, meditation, and reshaping your thoughts. So these are very important for in life and business. So if that's something that you're working on, something that you need help with, please reach out to her. She just started her 6-week course about 2 weeks ago. Space is very limited, so just reach out to her at IamLisaRenee.com. She's a life coach, a mindset coach, the founder and the CEO of Freedom to Be You. So check her out. She'll get you what you need and have you on the right track. So
yeah,
Miss Lisa Renee, IamLisaRenee.com. Do that right now if you need that. But I think we coming into the end of our checking in. How you felt about checking in?
I think that was good. I love the input because now y'all really have my mind going
exactly
on who to check in with, how to check in with people. Sometimes take my feelings out. But I've worked hard to start taking my feelings out, even when I do check in with you and let you know, hey, this is how I'm feeling. I feel like this because, and I really take my feelings out of it and give it to you because if I didn't, I'd be so
really be in your feelings.
But I've taken the steps to do that. But you are my check-in person. Like I said, my mama is my check-in person. My sister is my check-in person. And God is my check-in person. Miss Lisa puts that coaching on you and you don't even realize that you've been coached. And that good says, did you get that in your spirit? Absolutely.
Yes, indeed.
Yes.
Yeah. But
so we have come to a valid point that checking in is important.
And we come to a valid point that we do need a buzzer so we can keep score. So shout out to my brother-in-law for that.
Project Daddy.
That Mr. Project Daddy.
Okay, I have to get it.
Oh, my brother-in-law Kevin, say y'all check him out, boy. That boy be having some valid topics himself. But yeah, we gonna leave that alone. But we appreciate everyone who has been tuning in, who continues to tune in, who's been showing us love on every Monday. We will be back. We're going to be in the studio next Monday.
I hope.
I think we're going to be in the studio next. We're going to. Moment of silence for the snow.
This is wild, y'all, isn't it?
But yeah, we're going to be back in the studio next Monday with a hot new topic. Something fresh for your mind. So y'all be sure to stay tuned. Stay locked in. Stocker Family Values on Facebook. Instagram is My Point Valid. We got a page on Facebook, Is My Point Valid Show. So y'all tune in with us, lock in with us, stay tuned.
Or if y'all can just go to ismypointvalid.com.
That too. That's where you need to go first. Ismypointvalid.com. My fault. But thank you to everyone. We are up out of here. And once again, I am Brandon D. Stocker. And this is Camille A. Stocker, and this is My Point Valid. We see y'all next time.
Bye, y'all.
Bye-bye.